I'm going to dive right into the political swing of things just to get everybody caught up on the current events on the Kyle Rittenhouse case that is now captivating the nation as we suffer through the Brian Laundrie and the Petito and just the insanity of the January 6th stuff that's going on, the shift show. We have been just indoctrinated into the insanity that this show has created. Meanwhile, we have the vaccine mandates and all the other garbage going on. The $1.7 trillion Build Back Better bill, which is, in my opinion, a load of hogwash, and it's causing hyperinflation. It's not, transitory like we were told. We're just constantly everything we're being fed, spewed. You got to really think about this. Just put this in perspective for a minute. You have Adam Schiff that starts the Schiff show, and that was the Russian collusion, Steele dossier, the whatever, just this foreign intervention into U.S. politics. It's been a consistent joke. The Schiff show has gone on forever. I mean, you have to step back and look at the naming of these people and say this isn't a coincidence. This isn't, these are like stage names. You couldn't fabricate this as well as they have done in reality if it was fictional. Just to bring up a few other names to give you guys kind of an indoctrination of what I'm talking about. You have Buttigieg, Buttigieg, whatever, as the Department of Commerce type head that's running, that end of America. Buttigieg. You guys follow me where I'm leading with this. This is a no-brainer when it comes to conspiracy theories. But in reality, this is stupid. We're all being played. We're all being completely played. Before this was, back in the day, it was Anthony Weiner's laptop. Jeffrey Toobin has now made all these comments about the Kyle Rittenhouse trial. Toobin was playing his tuba with his coworkers during a Zoom meeting. You couldn't make this stuff up. You can't. I go back to song Static X, which I've been kind of into lately. They're a group that the lead singer died of an overdose. You look at that, and he's got, one of his songs called Destroyer, they named themselves. And that kind of got me thinking to what we've been experiencing as humanity through this massive scam we call everything. I mean, politics, the media, it's just such a stupid show. We have to check out this we have to stop the Netflix episode of we're being drove crazy by a bunch of lunatics that have scripted everything we see and do and hear and everything happens. Now, if you call me a liar and say, well, it's not true, let's go back to the Bush administration. We have Bush, we have Dick Cheney, and we have Colin Powell. Bush, a Dick, and a Colin. Just put that in perspective for a minute. This isn't rocket science. It's when you look at the stage name, Janet Yellen, she's over, the Federal Reserve. We have Joe Manchin that's holding back the Democrat side of this Build Back Better kleptocratic theft of America's future wealth. Manchin's standing there, and then Yellen. It's just the stage names are ridiculous. Just completely and utterly ridiculous. We checked out a reality a long time ago. I think 9/11 and the Bush administration was the official checkout of all of us into reality, out of reality. We checked ourselves out because we were led like by the Pied Piper during this time to the Symphony of Destruction. It's what it is. You constantly have to step back and just, why Buttigieg? Why Why do we have stupid names like that? Why is this, you know, the Adam Schiff show? Why? It's just ridiculous. So if you start to open up your mind towards the stage names that these people have, you start to understand a little more about what we're being fed constantly as society. You know, you don't believe all you see and hear on you know, the internet. It's ridiculous. The media is a propagandist arm for the Symphony of Destruction. That's all I gotta say on the whole subject. It's the largest fleecing of world wealth in the history of the world. It's this. We have been fleeced. We're being continually fleeced by these people. They're making bazillions of dollars. Drug epidemics, opioid epidemics, fentanyl, heroin, human trafficking. You know, it's everywhere. The corruption, the greed, and the America and the world has lost all sense of reality, because what we perceive as reality is being dictated by people that have already set in motion all these plans. If everybody sits back and say, well, Biden's he's incompetent, he's this, he's that, Kamala Harris is incompetent, they shouldn't be president or vice president. There was never a time that these people were ever incompetent. It's just, there's bazillions of dollars in everything they do. They're constantly orchestrating everything they do. They have think tanks that set back, handlers that set back, and tell them everything they're going to do, when they're going to do it. It's not by accident. There's no mistakes when it comes to any of this. The you know, ignorance that we say, you know, in the government making mistakes isn't ignorance at all. It's orchestrated. Orchestrated. You know, a long time ago, I watched Tropic Thunder, or I watched Platoon. Okay, it's just, I think I laughed about Tropic Thunder, about everything that goes on Tropic Thunder is funny. But the show Platoon, and the one guy in the show, black guy in the show, says, you know, dealing with everything, he says, you free your mind, your butt will follow. And they got it. They got it back in the 60s. You know, they understood that you have to free your mind of the Symphony of Destruction that we're all playing a part in, that we're all playing a big part in. Whether or not it affects, everybody says, oh, it doesn't affect me. It affects you. Go to gas pumps. You know, wherever you try to make money, they will consistently take it. The wages go up. They'll take it. They pass out free money in the economy. I said $14 trillion at the beginning. We're probably well beyond that. Janet Yellen, she's printing off trillions to buy unsecured mortgage-backed securities. It's been the largest bailout of a kleptocratic theft system. If you want to learn more about that, watch Max Keiser on the Keiser Report. I know a lot of people are against RT. RT is funded by the Russia Today network. Russia Television is backed by the Russian government. But you have to really get into these different scenarios to understand what's going to happen. So I don't think I have internet. Pretty sure that the kids have kicked out the cord on my internet. Oh, wait, it's actually there. So before we get into this, I just want to say thank you to all of you that watch this program. I know that, you know, it's the news is, oh, we don't have internet. So, just did check it before I started, because I thought maybe this episode would go over pretty well without having to get my technical difficulties under control prior to the recording. But I'm already deep into it. I might as well continue. So, as far as vaccine mandates, we can't really go too much into that. I'd like to just bring up the fact that there's a stay on that, and the insanity still continues. So, I wish I could speak in code to you guys. I could just say certain things in code so you guys can understand just what I was saying, and I wouldn't be booted or run out of my digital platforms. So I can't really get too much into that. But just just hang in there. I think that maybe there may be a shift eventually. People may start waking up, and hopefully the world has had enough of these kleptocrats. But who's holding their breath, right? Okay, so with no material in front of me, I consistently watch the news. I don't even know why I do. I go flip through the news stations. I read stories. It just makes you dumber every time you look at it. Every time you look at even Fox. You know, Tucker Carlson has a really good program. He talks about the truth. But, oh yeah, that's a good one to get into. So Tucker Carlson brings up what happened to, trying to think of the name of the company, the I guess you'd call it the whistleblower company that was recently raided by the FBI, Project Veritas. So to get into that story, Project Veritas, their homes were raided. The founder of Project Veritas had his home raided by the FBI, and anyways, to do with a bunch of stuff to do with a journal that was left by Joe Biden's daughter in some hotel, and they couldn't verify the authenticity of it, so they didn't publish it, but they did pay for the product that they thought was, you know, information on the Biden family. And it just puts in perspective how dangerous kleptocratic and a kleptocratic government can be when they're running the show. The narrative can't be broken by any whistleblower organization, which, believe me, there's very, very, very few. They've completely eliminated that through all these massive, I guess you'd say, screenplays produced on national television, causing uproars across the country, causing the public's attention to be taken off the fact that they are scripting everything that's happening. And you're only receiving what information they're allowing you to receive, because there is no independent journalism. When there is, it is stifled. It is stifled with an iron fist, you know, a hammer and sickle type stifling of you know, free information. Even though we try to continually bring out information to the public and say, well, this and this and this, you only get so much of it, because they do not allow the information to be released to you, the taxpayer, because you're being fleeced. You're being fleeced beyond anything anybody, any time ever in the history of the world has ever been fleeced. They're stealing the future. And I bring that up over and over again. But Project Veritas is a very dangerous institution right now, because they have, I guess they've seized the attention of very dark forces that are out there to make sure that you dance to the piper, and if you don't dance, then you're, well, look what's happening. So anyway, to any of you that understand what I'm talking about, you know, from the free America, the free press, free radio, the last beacon of I guess you'd say of the First Amendment, we're really, really in trouble. I did have a video a few months ago about the clamping down on America, on free speech, and on the free society we once thought we enjoyed, which the more you dig, you start to understand there's more and more of this. It's been basically scripted from the beginning. And we've been just all dancing the piper, playing our parts in the role, you know, in the movie. You're just the extras. So those of you that understand reality, follow me on this subject. It's in every society, it's every part of society. Doesn't matter which part you're from. There is no difference. You are all playing the game. And it's all scripted. And you are following exactly in line with what they have written for you. Whether or not you believe you're independent or you have the freedom of anything, you do not. It's all script. So as I live my life as a worker bee, and I pay my taxes, and I prepare for that future, that retirement. I try to look back in my moments of free thought, free time, and say, where did we go wrong? And when I look back in the past, I realize that we never went wrong at all. They have owned the story from the beginning, and we're just dancing to the Pied Piper. Everything I thought was true or real in the past, with international events and the way the economies have gone, the crashes, and I just realized that we've all just been servants in this, or all extras in the show that they created. So, and everybody else just cannon fodder. You're all just cannon fodder. It's a sad society we live in. I do believe that, turning to a higher power is a really good idea. I think that that's something most sane people that are outside of this matrix we call life should be at least looking towards a higher power, because all we got is that in the end. Because if not, you're the rat in the cage. You're your proverbial fish in the fishbowl. You're the goldfish swimming around, bouncing your head off the side of the bowl, thinking you're going to get out, but you're not. And people lose faith, and then they get on drugs, and they fall to the symphony of destruction. And you cannot do that. Like people before me have come forward and said, we have to stand against the machine. We have to rage against the machine. You can't rage against the machine. The machine already owns you. You can't rage against it. But you have to realize, to understand the difference between the reality and the illusion that you're living under. And you have to only control what you have in your box. Here, your basic role you have, that's all you can control. So you have to take control of that basic area. And they make it harder every day, every year to control this box or this little playing field you have. You're only on one board in a board that is infinite. But you have to control that. You have to get in that and say, okay, I'm not going to do it this. I'm going to do it this. I'm going to get this straightened out. I'm not going to get this straightened out. I'm going to eliminate this out of my life and move forward. And once we can all do that, we should be okay. But if we keep swaying to the symphony and listening to the bobbleheads on the news that isn't really the news, this is all just propaganda, we're never going to free ourselves from the chains and the slavery that they call society. So, those of you at work that are attacking other workers, that think it's a great thing to put your fellow man or woman under duress because you're having a bad day, or you're going to harass them, or you're previously thinking of ways to harass another individual, their daily lives, their daily struggles, just remember, karma is a very real thing. And do unto others as you would want done unto yourself. I've watched this throughout my life. I've watched people that have done a lot of things to a lot of people. They paid back 10 times what they did to other people. We have to be together in this. If you see a coworker doing something, we have to find a better route than to go tattle on them and to get them in trouble so they may lose their security in life. There's some people who say, well, they deserve it, blah, 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 blah. We're not the judge of that. We are not the judge of that. You can't be judging other people. I have that type of problem. Being honest, I drive down the road and I just wonder how these people survive. Where did they come from? How do they even act the way they do? Is this the future generation? Oh, Lord, we're in trouble. This is the future. But looking at them, seeing those people in pain or suffering or homeless is not something that should be even recognized as far as end goal for other people, as far as you thinking of other people. You do have toxicity in some people, and they have to be away from you, but nobody wishes homelessness or destitute and on your fellow man. We should never do that. That's what a lot of charitable societies are set up for. But we have to be human beings again. We have to be above the animals. You know, in that sense, we're above the animals. So we can't display our animalistic behaviors. We should care for our fellow man. We should not backstab and lie, and especially don't mock. Don't be a mocker. And that's a really hard thing to do. Don't mock other people. I'm even slipping into that a little off and on, mocking people. And, you know, this is the time of mockers if you're biblical in the last days. So let's all gather that together and kind of think about that. Think about being better to other people. Think about what we could do to change our playing field, our level, our, you know, our own yard, which my yard's a mess, by the way. But that's another story. But we have to think about what we can do here at the time. In our area, our area, that we can affect. As far as these guys go, the internet and all that stuff, you can't, you know. You can't fix these people. You can't. They are all swings to the symphony of destruction, and they have a multitude of assets to make sure you keep dancing to the piper. So, anyway, it's commentary for today. I got to try to plug the internet in, get a little better video before I head to work. And, yeah, if you want to follow 45 News Utah, that's a load of horse, you know what, or others, I appreciate it. It'd be great. And try to inspire me to do some more videos. So you know, if you like the content, there can be more. I just have to have the time. It's the biggest issue. And believe me, my face is running off my face because of allergies. I'm literally sitting there just flowing. We all know this, but you know, it'd be fun to continue this type of show. You know, as crazy it is, and the ADHD. You know, this is the headquarters of ADHD. You know. And, you know, keep focused on one thing is just kind of like, oh, look up a squirrel. You know, that's me. And I enjoy that, and I hope you enjoy that too, because, you know, we all have some form of ADHD in our DNA somewhere, and I blame it on the FDA or the USDA. So, anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I'll try to get another video up and running here in just a minute, and I hope you guys have a great day.